What's up guys, it's DarkArmedDuelist and today doing a Yubel deck profile. So I'm really excited to do something for you guys because this deck's actually suggested to me by one of my patrons, Wesley. And this deck is an extremely nostalgic deck that can make some absolutely incredible boards. So without further ado, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit that bell there so you can become part of the notification squad, and definitely check out the Patreon down in the description below for all those awesome rewards. And definitely give Wesley some love down in the comments down below for suggesting such an awesome deck. So let's get straight on into this one, guys. So first off, we're playing a single copy of Yubel. This card is an amazing combo piece in this deck and such a cool one-up to be able to play to summon off of all your awesome Yubel cards. We then play a single copy of Yubel Terra Incarnate. Terra Incarnate is an amazing one-up in the build to be able to summon off the effect of Yubel, but this card is a card you don't want to see in your opening hand. You always want to have it in the deck to be able to summon off the effect of Yubel, but it's an amazing combo piece in the deck. We then play 2 copies of Spirit of Yubel. This card is one of the most powerful cards in the entire deck, with the ability it cannot be destroyed by battle. Also, you take no battle damage from battles involving this card, and if this card is destroyed, you can special summon Yubel that is banished or in your hand, deck, or graveyard, and you only use the effect of this card once per turn. When an opponent's monster declares an attack, you can also special summon this card from your hand, and if this card is special summoned, you can add to your hand or set a spell or trap card from your deck that mentions Yubel, giving us access to all of our awesome cards like Nightmare Pain and some of the other awesome spells and traps in this build. We then play 3 copies of Samsara D. Lotus. This card is definitely a 3-of in build, the best normal summon in the entire deck, because you can tribute this card to special summon a Yubel monster from your deck, helping us instantly bring out our copy of Spirit of Yubel. Also, during your opponent's turn, when a monster effect is activated while you control a Yubel monster, quick effect, you contribute this card and the activated effect becomes destroy 1 Yubel from the field, which is a really cool ability to basically just change an opponent's monster's effect. Also, during your end phase, if you control Yubel, and this card's in the graveyard, you can add this card back to your hand or special summon it. You only use each effect of this card once per turn, but you're always using this card's effect to be able to actually bring it back to your side of the field. We then play 2 copies of Gruesome Grave Squirmer. This card is crazy powerful in the deck as a 2-of and just such a powerful extender. And if you control a fiend monster, quick effect, you can actually special summon this card from your hand. Then destroy 1 Yubel or a monster that mentions it in your monster zone. You can also banish this card from the graveyard to special summon a fiend monster with 0 attacking events from your hand or graveyard, except another copy of this card, which is a great ability to instantly bring out the exact monster you need. We then play 3 copies of Dark Beckoning Beast. This card is great as a normal summon as well, because this card has the ability, when this card is normal summon, you get to add your copy of Opening of the Spirit Gates directly from your deck to your hand, which is an amazing ability to instantly grab the exact card that we need. Also, during your main phase, you can normal summon a fiend monster with 0 attacking events in addition to your normal summoner set, which is a great ability to help you swarm the board. We then play a single copy of Unchained Soul of Shavara. This card is a great one-of in the build to basically help us going for all of our awesome Unchained Link monsters to basically just make an insane board. But this card is super cool in the deck because if this card is sent to the graveyard, you can set an Unchained Spell or Trap directly from your deck, which is such a powerful ability to instantly set our copy of Escape of the Unchained. We then play 3 copies of Ash Blossom. Ash Blossom's definitely a 3-of in the build to basically just stop the opponent from touching the deck. We then play 3 copies of Molcharmy Fluros. Fluros is great in this build as a 3-of to help us dig into the deck for the exact cards that we need. So, that's it for the monsters, guys. Let's get into the spells. So for the spells, we're going to start with a single copy of Terraforming. Terraforming is amazing as a 1-of build because this card instantly gets us to our copy of Nightmare Throne. We then play a single copy of 1 for 1. 1 for 1 is great. Summon out your copy of Samsara D. Lotus directly from the deck to your side of the field. We then play a single copy of Called by the Grave. Call of the Grave is great in this deck as a 1-of to basically just stop your opponent's hand traps while you're going in for all of your plays. I'm going to see a copy of Crossout Designator. This card is great to basically just stop your opponent's hand traps, just like your copy of Called by the Grave. I'm going to see a copy of Nightmare Pain. Nightmare Pain is crazy powerful in this build, and a really good card to be able to play, as this card is basically what the entire deck revolves around getting to, because this card has the effect that during your main phase, you can destroy one dark monster in your hand or face on the field. If you do, you get to add a Yubel or a card that mentions it from your deck to your hand, except in the copy of Nightmare Pain. Also, while you control a Yubel monster, your opponent's monsters that can attack must attack Yubel monsters, and also your opponent takes any battle damage you have taken from battles involving your Yubel monsters, making it super easy to go in for game by your opponent attacking your monsters. We then play 3 copies of Opening of the Spirit Gates. This card is crazy powerful in the deck, because when this card is activated, you get to add your copy of Dark Beckoning Beast directly from your deck to your hand. And this card also has the ability once per turn, you can actually discard a card to special summon a Fiend monster with 0 attack and defense from your graveyard, which is such a powerful effect to be able to bring back your copy of Spirit of Yubel to your side of the field. Also, once per turn, if you control a level 10 monster, you can add a continuous spell from your graveyard to your hand, which is a really powerful ability just in case your opponent actually destroys your copy of Nightmare Pain. You can technically recover it out of the graveyard using Opening of the Spirit Gate. We then play 3 copies of Nightmare Throne. Nightmare Throne is crazy powerful as a 3-of, because when this card is activated, you can take a Fiend monster with 0 attack and defense from the deck and either add it to your hand or destroy it, which is an amazing ability to use with your copy of Samsara D. Lotus or a copy of Spirit of Yubel. Also, once per turn, if a face-up Yubel monster you control leaves the field by a card effect, you can add to your hand a Yubel monster from the deck, graveyard, or banishment, whose original level is 1 level higher or 1 level lower than those monsters. Then you can special summon it, ignoring its summoning conditions, which is a crazy powerful effect. We then play 3 copies of Super Polymerization. Super Poly is going to be crazy this format, and definitely a 3-of in the build. Basically just break your opponent's board, and it's just so good in this build. So we have one of the craziest Super Poly targets in the entire game. So that's it for the spells, guys. Let's get in to the traps. So for the traps, we're going to start with a single copy of Escape of the Unchained. This card is great as a 1-of in the build. Just use their copy of Shavara and Rage, because this card actually says target an unchained monster you control and a card on the field and destroy them, which is a pretty cool ability to be able to use. We play a single copy of Eternal Favorite. Eternal Favorite is crazy powerful in the deck as a 1-of, and I absolutely love this card in the deck, because once per turn, you can activate one of these effects, but you can only use each effect this card once per turn to special summon one of your Yubel monsters that's banished or in the graveyard, and neither player can activate cards and effects when that monster is special summoned. Or, if you control a Yubel, you can actually discard a card and then send this face-up card to the graveyard to fusion summon a fusion monster from your extra deck using monsters from either player's field as material, including a Yubel monster, basically being a super poly trap. We then play 3 copies of Dominus Impulse. Dominus Impulse is crazy powerful in this build, because we're basically just playing dark monsters in this deck, and this card basically just stops your opponent's special summons, but it does lock us out of light, earth, and wind monsters for the rest of the duel if we do activate this card from our hand. But it's just such a powerful hand trap to be able to play in this build. But for a more budget option, you can technically change it out for Ghost Spell for a much more budget option than this card, but if you do have this card, definitely play it. We then play 3 copies of Infinite Impermanence. Infinite Impermanence is great as a 3-of in the build to basically just stop your opponent's monster effects and also lock down entire columns of spells and traps. So that's it for the main deck, guys. Let's get into the extra deck. So for the extra deck, we're going to start with a single copy of Phantom of Yubel. This card is absolutely broken. It's super easy to summon, and you don't even have to use polymerization to be able to summon this card out to your side of the field, as it just requires a copy of a Yubel plus a Fiend monster with 0 attack and defense, and it must be special summoned from the extract by shuffling above cards that you have on the field, hand, or the graveyard into the deck or the extract. It cannot be used as a fusion material, and it cannot be destroyed by battle, unless you take no battle damage from battles involving this card. Also, when your opponent activates a monster effect, quick effect, you can tribute this card to activate this effect that your opponent's card effect becomes your opponent destroys a Yubel monster in your hand, deck, or field, and only affect this card once per turn. But this card is absolutely broken to be able to play, to basically just summon out to your side of the field and change an opponent's monster's effect. Let's see a copy of Yubel, the Loving Defender Forever. This card is crazy powerful as a super poly target and absolutely broken in this deck. Just break your opponent's board. As if this card is fusion summon, you can inflict 500 points of damage to your opponent for each material used to be able to summon out this card, which just requires a copy of Yubel plus 1 effect monster on the field. And if we use a copy of Super Polymerization to make this card, you can break your opponent's board and do burn damage to them, which is absolutely crazy. Also, it cannot be destroyed by battle or by card effect. And also, you take no battle damage from battles involving this card, and at the end of the damage step, if this card battles an opponent's monster, inflict damage to your opponent, equal that opponent's monster's attack, and if you do, banish that monster, which is such a broken ability to be able to use, and it's so easy to win games with this card. We made a single copy of Garrigus and a single copy of Mud Dragon. These cards are just additional super poly targets to play in the deck just in case you need them. And a single copy of Garrigus. This card is crazy powerful in the build and very similar to your copy of Unchained Abomination, but this card is actually a walking negate that can pop multiple cards on the field and definitely a one of in this deck. My second copy of a Bao-Aku. A Bao-Aku is just awesome to be able to link climb into because this card is just absolutely broken. I think it's destroy a card on the field or be able to banish this card until the end phase, and if you do special summon a light or dark monster from the graveyard, it's just so cool to be able to do. And this card also is just absolutely broken in this deck. We made a single copy of Unchained Abomination. This card is crazy powerful in this deck because if this card is faced on the field, or if a card is faced on the field and it's destroyed by a card effect, except by a copy of Unchained Abomination, to target a card on the field and destroy it. When another monster is destroyed by battle, target a card on the field and destroy it. And during the end phase, just because, target a card on the field and destroy it. This card, for no absolute reason, destroys 3 cards on the field every single turn, which is absolutely broken. And last, a single copy of Unchained Soul of Anguish. Anguish is great in this deck as a one to basically help us link climb, and it's just a super cool card to be able to make in this deck to basically just link climb into a copy of Unchained Abomination or into a copy of a Bao-Aku. We're gonna make a single copy of Summon Sorceress. Summon Sorceress is crazy powerful in this deck because this card's effect just was changed and errata and brought back to 1 with the ability, if this card is link summon, you can special summon 1 monster from your hand in defense position to your opponent's zone that this card points to, but negate its effects. And then you can special summon 1 monster from your deck in defense position with the same type as that monster, but negate its effects. And if you summoned from the deck this way, you cannot special summon for the rest of the turn except monsters with the same original type, which is totally fine as we can only summon Fiend in this deck, which is absolutely fine about this build. We then played 2 copies of Unchained Soul Lord of Yama. Yama is crazy powerful as a 2 of in the deck and an awesome extender, as in this card is special summon. You can actually add an Unchained monster from your deck or graveyard to your hand, helping you instantly get to your copy of Shavara. And this card also has the ability if a card you control is destroyed by battle or by a card effect, while this card's in the graveyard, you can banish this card to special summon a Fiend monster in the hand of the grave, then destroy a card you control, which is a pretty powerful ability to use with the copy of Escape of the Unchained, and it's just such a powerful play in this deck. And lay a single copy of Unchained Soul of Rage. Rage is crazy powerful to basically turn your copy of SP Little Knight into a triple interaction, being able to link away an opponent's card, then get a double interaction off your copy of SP, which is absolutely crazy. And lay a single copy of SP. SP is awesome. Be able to use your copy of Rage, and just so cool to be able to summon out to your side of the field. Basically, just link away an opponent's card with Rage, then summon out SP, use its banish effect, and then use its other banish effect as well, giving you a triple interaction against your opponent using your copy of Rage and SP. We made a single copy of Mudracker. This card is really powerful in the deck. Basically, just bring back your fiend monsters to your side of the field. And then finally play a single copy of Alamarons, just in case we need to link away our copy of one of our monsters to the graveyard so we can use our copy of Opening of the Spirit Gate. So, that's it for the deck, guys. I hope you enjoyed. This deck is super fun to be able to play. If you guys have never played a Yubel deck before, you should definitely give this deck a try because it's so fun to be able to play, and it's insane how powerful it is to break your opponent's board using awesome cards like Super Poly, and it's just so fun to be able to play. So, that's the end of this one, guys. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit that bell in there so you can come part of notification squad. We'll see you guys in the next video. See you later, guys.